We now come to the 10-minute rule bill. Dean Russell.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I beg to move that leave be given to bring in a bill to make mental health first aid part of first aid training requirements and for connected purposes. Madam Deputy Speaker, I can still vividly recall when I was a teenager the sound of my sister as she sobbed and cried each night following the news that one of her best friends and someone I had always looked up to had committed suicide. That was nearly 30 years ago, but I can still recall it like it was yesterday. The pain, the loss, and the biggest question of all, could I have done something to change their mind? As I stand here today, I know I cannot change the past, but perhaps with this bill, we can change the future. Madam Deputy Speaker, this bill makes a simple request: to make mental health first aid part of normal physical workplace first aid in workplaces across the country. In doing so, we may not only save lives, but change lives too. My proposal is a simple one. It's not to ask for a recommendation, it's not to ask for a guideline, but it's to ask for a law around this to ensure that all workplaces have the right capacity to deal with people who may be going through difficulties. And we live in a society now where mental health is on the rise in terms of issues, and as a society today, we have a much greater appreciation than we ever have of the importance of mental well-being. So there must be a time now for a small change to make a big impact. I want to assure colleagues that this bill is not asking too much of business. Just as physical first aiders are not expected to be trained as doctors or paramedics, mental health first aiders are not expected to be counsellors or full-time psychotherapists. The training simply provides the skills for the first aider to identify, understand and help someone who may be experiencing a mental health issue. This could be through mandating accredited mental health first aider training, or perhaps just requiring the inclusion of the existing Public Health England psychological first aid training. Madam Deputy Speaker, as you already know, the proposal in this bill is not new to Parliament. Over 2 years ago, due to the excellent work of Natasha Devon and the Where's Your Head At campaign, which I am now proud to be an official ambassador for, this topic was debated as a backbench business committee debate. We all know, though, since that time, 2 years ago, that times have changed dramatically. And given the impact of the COVID crisis on the mental health of the nation, today the world is drastically different. Back then this was important. Today it is both urgent and essential. Madam Deputy Speaker, to have a mental health first aider in every workplace is not unrealistic. In my own constituency of Watford, I set an ambition to train 1,000 mental health first aiders, and with the incredible support of Camelot, Watford Chamber of Commerce, Wellspring Church and many other community champions, we are making this a reality. I want Watford to be a wellbeing town, but perhaps we could make the UK a wellbeing country, where loneliness has no place to hide and mental well-being is the norm. It may take years, but we are beginning those steps to do so, and we are inspiring others too. For example, my honourable friend from Ynys Môn has already signed up 100 people to train as mental health first aiders, and I'm sure many others will follow. But this bill aims even higher. It will mean every workplace will have a mental health first aider. Just imagine what impact that would have and the people it could help before they require more urgent support. It would mean the first aiders in every workplace would not just be able to save lives through CPR, but perhaps change lives by asking people how they are. And just as workplaces are diverse from offices to barbershops, train stations and supermarkets, each member of staff is also different. They are our mothers, our brothers, our sisters and our fathers. They are the veterans and they are the volunteers. They are all of us. All of the experiences, all of the emotions that we each carry with us. Those times of grief to loneliness, from anxiety to stress, both love and loss. But this is not just an emotional argument for this bill. There are very sound business and economic reasons to support it. According to First Care, 2018 marked the first year when mental health-related absences became the leading cause of lost work days. Just imagine that. And it estimated that 1 in 7 workers who have taken off time due to COVID-related issues will also take time off due to poor mental health. And it's also estimated that workers who take sick leave more than twice are 63% more likely to leave their job. So this is a big issue for business. And Madam Deputy Speaker, at the true heart-breaking moment when we look at these figures, there is an even starker example. That when a person takes their own life, when one considers the full costs from court cases to funerals to coroner's fees, it is estimated that the cost to the country of every individual suicide is £1.7 million. Never mind the devastating loss that causes. I know the government is taking mental health seriously, especially with the impact of COVID. Unprecedented sums of money are being spent on mental health. In fact, £14 billion in the past year. I'm also pleased that the Health and Safety Executive include mental health first aid in their official guidelines. But this bill would build upon that. So given the toll of the pandemic and it's had on our nation's mental health, the proposal today cannot be controversial. Just as having physical first aid is a norm, and it's been the case for decades, surely this bill just gives parity to mental health too. And as we move forward, surely it is only right that we don't put all the pressure on tackling the stigma of mental health on our incredible healthcare sector. It is upon us all. By spotting early warning signs and signposting people to the right guidance at the right time, in the right place, we can ensure early support. This bill will help it make it okay to ask somebody in the workplace if they are okay. We cannot say it enough times that it is not a weakness to ask for help. It is a strength. Madam Deputy Speaker, I have a phrase you may have heard before, that HOPE is an acronym. HOPE, help one person every day. With this bill, we could help millions. And to be clear, this bill is not asking for billions from the Treasury. It is not contentious. It helps individuals, business, society and the economy. And it could help the nation heal as we all emerge from this unprecedented crisis. Madam Deputy Speaker, surely, if suicide were a virus, would we not be searching for a vaccine? And if loneliness were a disease, would we not be attempting to find a cure? In the coming months and years, we as a nation will need to come to terms with the impact of COVID. We will hug each other once more. We will sing and we will dance and we will drink with each other together. But as we return together in the workplace, we will also need to grieve together. We will have to face our fears together. We will have to mourn our loved ones and our missing colleagues together and share our stories together. I truly believe this bill will play a small, practical part in ensuring our nation can heal together too. So, Madam Deputy Speaker, I humbly request for this bill to be given due consideration to be passed into law. And I ask to the government, with great respect, if not now, then when? If not when, then why not? Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.
The question is that the honourable member have leave to bring in the bill. As many as that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary, no. Ayes have it. The ayes have it. Who will prepare and bring in the bill?
The Right Honourable Jeremy Hunt, Virginia Crosby, James Sunderland, Luke Evans, Robin Miller, Anthony Higginbotham, Jerome Mayhew, Mark Logan, Duncan Baker, Tom Hunt, Jeff Smith, and myself, Madam Deputy Speaker.
Dean Russell.
First Aid Mental Health Bill.
Second reading what day?
Tomorrow, Madam Deputy Speaker.
Tomorrow. Thank you.